Hi, my name's Rafael Savari. Introducing SAT Part 2 today, and looking at some of the Criteria 6 programming. So this was a sort of high-level overview that we made earlier in the year, but now we're not doing usability testing, okay, and we're not doing reflection at the end. So now this is what the rest of the SAT will look like, okay, for Part 2. We're going to program it. We're going to do some data management testing, and we're going to evaluate how we went. Okay? So today, let's look at the programming side, what we need to do for that. So this stays the same. Looking at the far right side, range of suitable processing features of the language to develop complete software solution meeting all the requirements. Basically, make the program. Okay, I'm not so worried about all the requirements. Just as many as you can do. If you've said you're going to make a button that loads the next page, at least have an attempt at that. If you said you're going to send a rocket ship to Mars, don't do that. Don't worry about that. So it's okay if you don't do all of them. You can still get up in this range from the way I mark anyway. Yeah, so I'll jump straight into that actually. Make sure your code does lots of different interesting things. If you do, let's say you make a button, loads a page, and you do that 50 times, you're not going to get more marks for it. You do it once, you get the mark, cool. All right, you get marks for unique things that you are doing. Okay, and just make sure that the code that you're doing is linking back to the requirements in your SRS where you can. All right, but yeah, I'm less worried about that side of things. Next one is internal documentation. Talking about comments, formatting, that sort of thing. There is a link here to a video where I talk just about internal documentation. It's a good video just talking about why it's important and that sort of stuff. It's only like 5 minutes or something. I'd recommend watching that. Basically, you get marks for comments. So you want to put comments in, but also white space and meaningful names. Okay, so meaningful names like camel case, Hungarian notation, comments, what the code's doing, who or when it was modified, maybe a thing, a little comment at the top, just identifying that it was you that made the change and that sort of thing. This has no white space here, so white space is important so it's actually readable. Okay, but yeah, I'll talk about that in the video. Watch that video, it's good. Next one, data validation. Okay, so again, there's a video. I'd say watch that. It gives you a good idea. Basically, to get the marks, you need to make sure that any input that's going in, it needs to be validated. Okay, so you need to make sure that your users are giving the program good data that the program can then use for the way it's supposed to function. Any data the user gives the program needs to be validated. If you have a program that isn't getting much input data, you need to find a way to allow more input data so that you can properly validate it. Okay, if you don't, then you just can't get the marks. Okay, so if you've got a real simple program, a real simple way you can fix that is to create some sort of like a username that you can put in, or a feedback page or something like that, and that way you can validate it there. Yeah, McDonald's, they've got an app that looks like this. They validate by having a drop-down list, so people can't type in things that are wrong, that sort of thing, so on and so forth. It's all covered in the video. Last one that you're going to get marks for is documenting the algorithm. Basically, highlight anything you've done that is different from your design work, anything that you've done that was not a requirement in your SRS, and any changes you might have made to your evaluation criteria. Because remember, you're going to be using that evaluation criteria at the end to sort of say how well you did. So if your program is changing and evolving as you develop it, what you want to check at the end might be different. So that's where you might want to update your evaluation criteria. just put a small discussion around what your programming experiences were like, okay, problems you faced, how you overcame them. Even if you didn't overcome all of the problems, just mention them and how you might have tried to if you had more time or knowledge or whatever, and that way you can still get marks for this last part here. Okay, it's all about this critical, creative thinking. You just need some sort of evidence for that. Okay, so this is just one way that you could submit some evidence for it in some sort of discussion and updates your design's evaluation criteria. Okay, so that's it, just a short one. That's criteria 6. Okay, it's the programming. It's going to take a while. There's going to be headaches with the code. Just make sure there's a lot of communication back and forth, and I will try and help you with your programming needs. Okay, generically, I can't help specifically, but generally I can help with different things for VB. Cool. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching.